Good evening, all my dear heroes out there. My name is Levi Lalonde from Alliteration Gaming, and tonight I've got my old pal, my old buddy, Mr. Kyle, right with me. Kyle, before we get into all the craziness of tonight, how's it going, bud?
It's going great. I'm super excited for a very diverse crowd to be playing out here, and I'm pumped to see what people are cooking up post regional.
Yeah, it was a very exciting regional, and we've got a very exciting tournament lined up tonight as well. Because if you ain't been living under a rock lately, or I guess if you have been, Dimmock is giving away a free shirt plus promo to our top 8 tonight. So we've got an absolutely stacked roster. I think 47, 48 players tonight. It's going to be one of the craziest webcam weeklies that we've seen in a long time. But before we get into it, Kyle and I have a lot of really cool things to tell you guys about. And speaking of exciting competitive play, the first thing that I just want to make sure I remind you guys is that holy cow, season 2, it's on the horizon. A bunch of really awesome events lined up with a bunch of awesome new boosted up prizing. It's going to be a fantastic season. We're not quite done with one yet, but there's so much to look forward in season 2. So I hope that you're getting your travel plans ready. Kyle, you got any of these in mind, my friend? You ready to hit up any of these bad boys?
Oh yeah, for sure. Of course, I'm gonna go out to Gen Con. I've been very excited about that. Probably gonna for sure hit the Discord event for unfun stuff. I know those guys always run a great event, and I mean, if I can, I would love to go to Rochester as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as your host, I'm going to be at all of these nonetheless, but it's certainly an exciting lineup. It's hard to go wrong with Gen Con. Unfun stuff getting their first event. It's a lot of real good stuff all around. I can't wait to see what they're cooking up in New York for us with Millennium Games and Rochester working together. Very exciting season, both for the locations and the dates, and also for those prizes. Really awesome chibi character cards on the horizon. So many cool things. All the arts on these look really beautiful, and I think that the longtime dedicated fans, especially of a lot of these older set 1 characters, are going to be really excited to get their hands on these alt arts. But guys, alternate arts are one thing, but how about arts for cards that you haven't seen before? That's right. Kyle and I have a hefty amount of undaunted raid reveals to show off to you guys. We're going to be going through 6 cards right now. And then for the rest of the evening, between each round, we'll be showing you one more. And I have to say, they're only going to get more exciting as the night goes on, which might be surprising because we're going to kick off with some very exciting ones right now. Speaking of as the night goes on, we're going to be checking out a card from Mr. Night Eye himself. This is Foresight Fusillade. Kyle, tell me about Foresight Fusillade. First thing I want you to tell me, am I even pronouncing it right?
I'm just gonna go with no. I think that's the safe bet.
That's what Night I would say. It is.
Man, this card looks super cool. I know that Night Eye is very seems to be very based around information, and this card is no exception, right? I mean, you get to see the top card of your deck. You can choose to discard it, thus getting rid of a bad check or getting rid of a card you don't want to draw, however you want to play that around, right? And then if you know what's on top, you can name the card type and add it to your hand. It's just a great little plussing piece. It's going to make a nice buffer in between your major attacks, I think.
Yeah, and I think this card's awesome, right? A little bit of information, a little bit of draw. You get to stack your draw in a sense as well, all in a nice little 4-diff 4-for-4 package. Love it. Moving on, we're going to be looking at a different type of card. We're going to be going back in time a little bit to our main man Twice and checking out Broken Psyche. This is a foundation that after taking a little bit of damage on the chin, you're going to be able to get rid of this bad boy and pick up a nice 6 check from your discard pile. This is obviously super versatile. If you're on something like the good symbol, there's a lot of 6 check foundations that you're going to be able to just grab to your hand. Obviously, if you're Twice himself, this is going to let you grab those sweet characters characters and proceed from there. If you're one of those other character stackers out there, the Mount Lady, the ectoplasms of the world, who don't have as many things available to them to try and tutor their characters out, you're gonna be able to go and grab those as well. And of course, really the main reason that this thing has got a +3 low block is that enhance. Flipping and trading the momentum, bringing an attack all the way down to 2. Holy cow, what an out.
Yeah, that ability is crazy good. I can't wait to try this in Denki 2.
Yeah, there's, I mean, man, twice a symbol spread just leads itself to having so many good targets for this card that I can really see where the inspiration came in. Moving
Absolutely.
on to our third card of the night, we're once again going to flip the script a little bit on you guys. We're going to be looking at Intense Stare, another very powerful foundation, and another Night Eye card. So why don't you lead the charge on this one, Kyle?
Man, this card is gonna be a little bit of a game changer in the meta, probably. Form once per turn, discard one or more cards, and you get to commit a non-character card in the rival's stage with a difficulty equal to or less than the number of cards you discarded. This is gonna be a great emergency button to get rid of those pieces that are keeping you off of your main game. Major pieces that may be giving you trouble for one reason or another.
This card's
So I'm very
wild,
excited
man.
about it.
I
Yeah.
read this and I said a 2/4. All right, what does this thing do? This right here. Once per turn, you get to put down whatever you want practically, whenever you want it, once per turn, but it's not unique. And it's also not first form, meaning you can just sit there and say, I've got this really sweet kill move in my hand, but you've got that one thing sitting on the board that just messes too much with it. Now I get to go in and just take that out, man. Like, doesn't even seal it, just straight commits it. I love me some Intense Stare. Very powerful
Exactly.
foundation. Very powerful foundation.
Super cool.
Oh yeah. Moving on though, we're going to be once again changing things up. Going into this next card, we're checking out, look at this. Instead of a foundation that commits a rival foundation, this one's going to be committing itself. For what, you might ask? Getting just a little bit of practically free speed buff on any one of our attacks as long as our block modifier isn't doing so hot. This card is really sweet, Kyle.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very solid piece. I mean, 2 diff, 2 high, commit to reveal for X amount of speed is going to be very powerful. It feels very similar in a way to that 3 diff Midoriya card that was printed as a promo. It's escaping me. The name of the
Constantly
card.
improving.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, that one also buffs buffs via the difficulty. Yeah, no, that is super cool. And this also just like it stays around. It's not unique. You can get like a lot of these going. Yeah, no, this is relatively strong. You're gonna get a lot of really big speed buffs out of this. The only like real, is you kind of like give them a little bit of information via like what things in your hand you might be going into their turn with, but I think that's more than worth it to get some really free speed.
Absolutely, I would agree. This card's definitely gonna see some play in various characters that need the speed boost.
100%. And now, finally, moving on to our next card. This time, we're going to be taking a look at No Time to Waste. We are ending this little heap of reveals with a nice hefty one. Yet another 4-diff foundation making its way into the game. And we've been talking a lot about foundations that commit themselves, foundations that commit rival foundations. This one's going to take care of both of those things. Any target committal that your heart desires, including assets. There really is no time to waste when you're going in for the kill. This is what you want right there on your board. And then, not to mention, if you don't quite seal the deal on that turn, destroy for -3 speed, playable while committed. That's a crazy positive amount of words.
Absolutely. A lot of aggro decks in this format are very much going to consider this piece just because selectively committing the opponent's nasty control piece that they're having trouble with is uber strong. And then on top of that, just being a defensive piece after you do that, if you don't happen to end the turn is fabulous. The only thing that kind of holds this back is the 4 difficulty, so it's kind of hard to build on turn 1. But I don't know if that stops people from playing it. I think this card will see a fair amount of play.
The fact that this card has one new training method symbol tells me that it's going to be all over the place no
Yep.
matter what. Good decks, absolutely, absolutely rising in stonks. And I do apologize to you guys. We do have one more card. I said this was the last one. My count's a little bit off there. I'm so ready to get into the Webcam Weekly. There's no time to waste in my head, but we do have time to show you guys the sixth and final card in this little lineup here. And it's going to be another little bit of Mirio love. We're looking at Pass Through Walls. And it's crazy to think that I forgot this one. It's the sixth card in this list, and it's the sixth check in this list.
Yeah. This card's super cool. It's good again for a lot of aggro decks. Disrupting breaker blocks is obviously very good. There's a lot of strong cards with breaker on it, and this card helps you deal with that. As well as canceling asset abilities. Asset hate is something that I think we don't have a ton of in this format, but we do have a lot of good assets constantly coming out and currently out, with more on the way, I'm sure. And having any amount of asset hate is going to be integral for this format, I think, moving forward. So it's nice that we're getting a piece like this.
This card's going to be so pesky against the Momo players who want to breaker you on every attack and then use their quick create on every attack. This thing is going to be so annoying to deal with. It's really funny, right? It's literally going to pass through her walls.
Yeah, absolutely. Having the Momo commit the stuff their pool for nothing is going to be really rude.
Yep, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And so, guys, those are your 6 cards for now. As I said, though, we do have 3 more to reveal between the rounds. And, of course, they are going to be scaling as we go through them. The 3 that we're going to be showing between each round are actually going to be some ultra rares. So you guys don't want to go anywhere, I promise. We're showing some really, really, really spicy stuff tonight. And we're getting very, very close to that time soon. But before we go, guys, I do want to remind y'all of a couple of things coming up a little bit more in the future. For one, this weekend, it's going to be crazy exciting because we've got a regional license exam, don't we, Kyle?
Yes, we do. I'm super pumped for it. It's going to be a great event.
Yep, it's going to be your first time casting regionals with me, Kyle. I'm very excited. On that note, Kyle will be casting regionals with me, guys. It's going to be the 2 of us joined by, of course, your resident webcam. I think he's done like almost every webcam one at this point so far. Mr. Jesse Cervini will be with us as well. So gonna be me and the old heads this weekend, me and the grandpas.
You're gonna learn today, Levi.
Oh, I'm gonna learn so much. It's gonna be an awesome RLE. Kansas City is gonna be hard to top, but I have faith in our webcam players. And then another big event on the horizon is Monthly Monday Mayhem is also coming up very, very soon. It's going to be our 4th one. And if you played in any of the ones before, you know there's going to be some interesting things going on format-wise. This time, you're only going to be able to participate if you've got at least 4 cards from the newly released Class Reunion box set. So I hope that you've been able to pick up those cards. I cannot wait to see a lot of Futures Now Jiro, a lot of masterminding Shigaraki, and then who knows what else is going to find a way to implement these super cool Class Reunion cards.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for masterminding Shigaraki. I'm also excited to see Gran Torino Agency in a couple of different decks. I think that's my favorite card in those cards.
Yeah, now that you mentioned, I would not be surprised to see some kick players running around with some of those bad boys. So we've got that coming up this weekend with the RLE. After that, on the following Monday, we have the Monthly Monday Mayhem, of course, on the first Monday of the month. And between those 2 bad boys, don't forget, guys, we also have our demo event coming up on June 10th, Saturday at 2 p.m. PST. We're going to be doing a little demo event explaining this great game to all you lovely people at home. So if you've got anyone kind of on the fence about the game, not sure where they should start, or who is really eager to learn the rules, you're going to be able to hop over on the Twitch right here with me on June 10th, that Saturday, to come learn how to play the super awesome My Hero Academia collectible card game. Holy cow, Kyle. That was a lot, huh?
Yeah. It was a lot, but it only makes me more excited for the upcoming games and for this weekend. I can't wait.
Yep. Could not agree more, my friend. So I think it's time to bounce out of here so we can go line up a super awesome round 1. And so we can start getting to see who is going to be taking home those Dim Mock promo apparel and promo cards by the end of tonight. Your top 8 are all going to be walking away with some really, really sick prizing, and the event is stacked for it. So Kyle and I are going to go line up round 1. We'll see you back very soon, heroes.